really kept track of where the Oracle was the whole time, and I think he could have stacked a little bit more.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's a lot of stacks that are in the Radiant jungle either, so Mushi not going to end up going
Oh no,
back to
Mushi
that.
already cleaned up all of those stacks already, so...
This is a Chrono up in the top lane, the triple raise finds the kill. Unfortunate there, Fernando, no great way out of that one.
Yep, 2 Chrono, 2 kills. Not gonna lie, Mineski's game plan is working like clockwork.
And Rior is just right here. They know that Kunkka could be in the area. Tinker is going to end up TPing to the top and actually a good bit of damage out onto these heroes. The tower still falls, but take a beating on the way
do
out.
you see the item that Mushi's got queued up? Yule Scepter.
Okay.
All right, so let me talk a bit. So Yule Scepter is a very published build on the face value, right? You Yule somebody up, you walk under it, and then you just Requiem for a solo kill. But in this game, it does have a lot of utility here. X-Torn combination, you could just use yourself, so you never get initiated on by that. You could dodge Omni Slashes before Diffusal Blade comes up. Mushi pops a Haste Rune and misses the raise.
Oh god, he gets disarmed. This is one of the fun things. You don't really end up being able to get away from that, but might end up playing a factor later.
But yeah, Yule's is not an item that you see too often anymore because the cast range of Yule's got nerfed. But I think this is the few time and places that it's going to be quite good because it doubles up as a both very strong initiation item and also a defensive one against the Kunkka.
The other thing that's so nice about it is that if we do start to see not only just the X Torrent combos, but also later on if it's X Tinker plays, you can Yule's him at the end of the duration of the X, and then he's not going to end up going back home. Suddenly he's way out of position.
Dire's middle tower is under
But
attack.
an X Torrent combo with the bow is going to connect onto Mag. Omni Slash, he's just going to get away!
No.
Oh, Execration.
So, I mean, having your bolt cooldown is not that big of a deal, but having the Omni Slash on cooldown and not getting something out of that one, Mineski is not going to be respecting... they get to like play a lot more aggressively with the Chronosphere. Speaking of which, Mag does have it in 15 seconds, so I'll be expecting a gank very soon.
This is a big problem for him, and you can actually see that Mag going back for the Vlads at this point. This could mean that Anti-Mage goes directly into some more fighting-oriented items after the battle period if they want to. Yep, doesn't have to by any means. And RR going to be caught, scouted out here. They're bringing in the rest of the heroes. They are going to have both back up in 10 seconds. They are able to save as well. That Dark's here for the moment, and well, Arc going to be able to walk away, so he's fine and dandy. Looks like the rest of them will not quite get out.
RR doesn't get enough heal through the False Promise, so he had False Promise on him, had like no HP, Ninja Boogie gave him the good old Void and an Urn. And despite the first uses of the False Promise, he still dies. And look at how aggressive Mineski's being right now. They are expecting somebody to defend the tier 2 mid, and they want to punish them.
They want to get the Tinker there, and they could still, I don't know if, it doesn't look like they have vision in the area, but if Mushi is able to find the Tinker here, this would just be a devastating blow. James, he's walking back right now. Mushi gonna maybe run into him. He's gonna walk right up the hill, and
that was
you have a Yule Scepter.
That was a little off.
What are you doing? They still should probably be able to get this James kill, I think.
Oh my god, Mushi misses another raise after.
I mean, that's the thing.
Bottom, Chronosphere has been used, and Raging Potato will get picked off as well.
I have seen.
All right.
Okay, we don't know when the last time Mushi played Shadow Fiend. I did say he used to be one of the best Shadow Fiend player, but right now is not. Let's just say he's not Yafits out here.
The thing is that he's still getting.
He's #1 net worth, guys. Like I know Twitch chat is going ham right now, but they are winning. That's what matters the most.
Exactly. I think I said it on the panel the other day that you don't get prize money scaling based on the number of kills that you get or how many raises you get.
You should though.
Yeah, you should definitely. All right, Mag gonna get caught in the Torn again. That's a lot of damage. He actually just gets blown up. So a little bit too cavalier with his play. Faceless Void drops down.
Nope, bottom lane. Looks like they're gonna try to set up another kill on Rior. Vacuum's gonna miss, and Rior is gonna just pour it out. So Execration essentially needs to run endless smoke ganks or smoke ganks into very key kills. I don't think even killing Mag is a key kill. Like, you gotta get the Shadow Fiend and you gotta slow down the anti-mage. Because you gotta imagine the other problem that Execration also faces with the current draft is they're not the best at taking objective. Like, who the hell could hit buildings at this point?
Yeah.
Nando, I guess, could do a little bit of damage to the building, so
Radiant's bottom tower
they
is
can't
under
really even
attack.
effectively gank
Radiant
into tower
structures
pushing.
are
So
fortified.
this draft just feels very anemic.
It does sort of have a couple of silver linings in that the healing ward is getting maxed out next for Nando. So at the very least, they'll be able to have sustain for their
Radiant's
pushes
bottom
and just,
tower is under
it's
attack.
that idea again, if everybody's
Radiant's
dead, then
bottom
you
tower
can just hit
has
it with
fallen.
whoever's left alive.
Right. I mean, again, they only have one initiation spell, right? So they better get those kills back to back. Raging Potato pops the smoke. They are on the hunt. Again, Anti-Mage and Shadow Fiend is the target.
Shadow Fiend gonna show his face in this bottom lane. All the rest of them there. Mag is actually run into them, and he does have Chronosphere back up in 3 seconds. It looks like they're still heading down south, and this is not scouted out by the Radiant at the moment.
Dire's
But I
top
think that
tower
they have an
is
inkling
under
that something
attack.
is happening. Okay.
Radiant's middle tower
Oh,
is
they
under
do get
attack.
themselves a lot of space.
Oh, this is the counter smoke though. Mineski, they want to go in for it, and Mag, the Chronosphere, if they're able to hit this one, looks like they might just run into the Darkseer first, and I'm not sure if that's the target that you want. He's going to end up surging away, and it looks like Execration dodged the gank.
I think where both teams misses like ganks like that, I think Mineski is in the favor because Anti-Mage has... Well, all right, he hits that one.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Well done.
Got him.
Yule's Blink Dagger.
Look at the damage, dude.
Yeah.
He just chunked that Darkseer from 100% to like 5.
It's a good combo. I mean, there's a reason that people were doing it for a long time.
Ooh, I wonder if he's going to fully commit. He's got the Blink Daggers already.
Yeah.
By fully commit, I mean getting the Axe Scepter after that as well. Mag is going to eat the full combo and going to get burst down. All right, good 1-for-1 trade here. Again, even trades are all in the favor of Mineski because they got by far the better late game. But let's see if Execration could get a tower.
They do have by far the better late game, but you also... I think that like this Yule's build is also to get stuff done around
Radiant's
the map.
middle tower
Like he
is
needs
under
to be
attack.
able to be a presence and constantly be a threat.
Radiant structures
But it
are
is still going to
fortified.
be at the end of the day more not like the anti-mage getting the majority of the farm, right?
Which
like,
he is.
Mushi has to get the hero kills over and over again.
Radiant's
I mean,
middle tower
Shadow Fiend
has
currently
fallen.
right now is ahead in terms of net worth, but you know we all know we've seen Anti-Mage games. He's going to take over.
Well, I guess the point that I'm making with this is that if Shadow Fiend fully commits to this magical damage build until he ends up getting into that 2 damage, it's all magical. And if Oracle is there and they're grouped up around,
Okay, I see
that,
what you're saying.
Then you have a Fate's Edict. Suddenly, that one target you blow up doesn't die.
Right, but you know Requiem is also an AoE spell, a
That's
rather
true.
large one.
That's true. That's
So, my curiosity again is if he's going to fully commit for the Aghanim Scepter build. Looks like he's going to go for a BKB instead. Now the rest of the team is rotating in. Chronosphere is at the ready.
They
Oh,
are going
boy.
to scout him out. They
Ooh,
jump
Mag
to
jumped to the wrong side.
expecting the teammates over there, and now they go onto him. Oracle's going to be here for the save, and the turnaround bow combo. It's only going to connect onto one, but still a lot of damage being dealt onto Rior. They have the shrine here as well if they need to use it, but he's not the full HP, so Chrono used, nothing gained.
That was one of those like we are committed, let's go for it. But
Okay, Mushi finds himself a nice little pick off there.
Mushi's styling now.
It's what's needed. He has to do it this game. He is going to be sort of looking over here to the side, but won't run into the Tinker. Do you think that Tinker goes for like a Hex build this game?
It depends on how well he does in the next couple of minutes. If you can find a Hex really quickly, then good.
Time is money.
But Lotus Orb is a fairly easy counter that could come out from either the Witch Doctor or Night Stalker.
Okay.
So I think it's perhaps better to go for more of the burst damage kill build.
Yeah, that tends to be what the Aether Lens signifies, is like going into Aghanims, something like that.
Yeah, Aghanims, Dagon.
I mean, I guess the thing that I keep on seeing is that this net worth that's populated at the top by Mushi, but he's not necessarily going into like the complete and total carry build.
Yep.
Anti-Mage is a little bit behind the Tinker and the Juggernaut, and that's the only reason I'm slightly worried about this, especially since Darkseer
Radiant's
is
top tower
finishing
is
off the
under
mech and
attack.
going next
Sure.
into the pipe, or into the Blink Dagger. So they have like the secondary form of initiation soon.
Yeah, one of the big danger of the build that Mushi's currently going for is that if you don't,
Radiant
like he kind
structures
of
are
reminds me of how
fortified.
Ursa is, where
Right.
Ursa is very strong early, you get a lot of kills,
Radiant's
thus you
top
get a lot of
tower is
momentum.
under attack.
But the first couple of times you die, you lose a lot of that momentum that you gain. Like 4,000, 5,000 of his current net
Radiant's
worth
top
is
tower
into
is fallen.
items like Blink Dagger and Yule Scepter that doesn't give you much right click damage. Oh, X-Torrent Bow misses completely.
Uh-oh, Mushi is in the back. He could run into Raging Potato here, but Lemik's in the area as well, and
That's the one you want, I think. Just Yules him.
or
okay.
just chrono him. And there's going to be a torrent. They try and turn this. Yule Scepter turn onto Kunkka. Lemik ends up disarming him, and Raging Potato not going to be saved by the Oracle this time
Dire's
around.
bottom tower
It's
is
very
under
interesting.
attack.
Ooh, nice vacuum wall on the back line here. Rior looks like he will get pit down. Mag on the run as well. It does have yet another jump. He should be fine.
James, maybe he was there
Dire's
waiting to
bottom
see if they could get him
tower is
before the
under
jump
Whoa,
happens.
whoa, whoa, whoa. James is going in here.
He needs that regen rune first.
Regeneration!
I'm surprised that they chrono one and went for the other.
Is he going in again? He wants to take this.
He has vision
the
still.
regen rune, they're going to keep it
Oh,
going.
the plays! He's gonna get the kill, James! Maybe you do. Oh,
Run! No, Mushi! Mushi! Oh.
Alright, so the previous mistakes of not getting till, that was like whatever. You eventually got the kill. But that one's huge. That's the Tinker. That's the highest net worth on the other side.
He has not been practicing Shadow Fiend, apparently.
That was
At
not
least
Shadow
it's
Fiend.
been-
That was just Yules.
At least the...
That was just activating an item, which mistakes do happen. So,
Yeah.
but I mean,
That was a big one to have
That's a
happen.
pretty big mistake.
And again, it's something where it's fine and dandy if these things happen and your team is still winning, but there is a world in which Execration are going to start to become more and more difficult to deal with. It's only a 2,000 net worth lead right now. Granted, you are about to start getting into the big stacks that have been built up around the map for Anti-Mage.
We're also getting to a point where I know you think that Execration is like kind of moving forward with the items, especially with Tinker and the Juggernaut, but I think the Anti-Mage timing is about to be a big issue here for Execration. Once that Manta's finished, he can begin solo killing supports. Split push becomes a very dangerous game. He adds either Basher or let's say Aghanims on top of that, where he becomes a very strong defensive unit or a very strong offensive one. Then I think that's where it's lights out for Mineski. Mineski has about lights out for Execration. Execration has about 5 to 7 more minutes to get something big going, because if the game keep going at this current state,
Radiant's bottom tower
I think they're going to
is
just
under attack.
flat out lose.
And this
I'll take
right
that
here
as
from
tribute.
RR is going to be one of those big things that allow them to make stuff happen. The Blink Dagger, unfortunately, it's coming about 20 gold too late, as it looks like Mineski are going in to take down Roshan. And unless this is contested, it is a huge problem for Execration to deal with.
Mirshi finishes the BKB, so this is, especially with the Aegis picked up and the Mantis out finish on Anti-Mage, this is going to be Mineski one of their first peaks of the game in terms of the overall strength. They could group up and just take objective if they would choose to, or I think they could just keep on split pushing like they have been. Split up the map, have your faces void as well as the Night Stalker look around for kills, have Mushi walk around, get solo kills as well.
Yeah. Has himself a haster in as well.
Yeah.
Night Stalker, we talked about the Aghanims going to be on the way for him. We had mentioned the possibility of a Lotus Orb, but doesn't look like he wants to go for that yet. And Witch Doctor is actually building into a Hand of Midas, so they're all building towards these items that are at least prepping for the late game in case it goes to that stage.
Yeah. I think the other very important kind of timing here for Mineski is the fact that Shadow Fiend is about to hit level 20. Being able to select the, extra soul damage talent is very important should he decide to go for that one.
Oh, Arc almost found the AM there. Raging Potato actually gets a hold of him. And Nando is here as well. He has Manta Diffusal Blade. Very low HP, but can he get out of there? They're chasing. They want to run him down. Can they get there in time? They aren't going to not quite get him. He's on the other side. Blink, is it going to be enough? No. They can't catch and kill that Anti-Mage.
Yep. Orko got a little bit greedy. He needed to just root immediately to extend the chain
Dire's
stun.
bottom tower is under
He
attack.
didn't. The Aegis is still alive. Fortunate.
Well, Mineski
Double
definitely
damage.
very happy after
Dire's
that
bottom
movement, and
tower has
this
fallen.
game is just so scary for Tinker. If James gets caught by either the AM or the Shadow Fiend, I think it's just lights out. Either one can blow him up
Dire's
instantly.
middle tower is under attack.
Just don't get caught.
Yeah.
Easy.
Easy
All right.
play.
As getting caught, he gets Chrono Mid, and then he said,
No way out of that one. Boogie is going to get the silence out on the Darkseer. No greens at this point. Does have a mechanism. Going to pop it now. They turn to fight. Actually walk away, but there's the vacuum wall that they needed. Reor now going to be ran down. No more Chronosphere. They drop that Requiem off onto the Oracle's head, and that should be the death of him in spite of the false promise. So big bad anti-mage, as well as all the rest of the heroes, whole cast and crew of characters, is taking him down.
Yep, 2 supports for a mid off lane. Mushi and his friends does win yet another huge team fight. They still have the Aegis going here on the anti-mage. So he gets to continue to punish. Not gonna lie, I think the game is over.
Yeah, I think so too.
But mistakes can happen. Mineski needs to make some repeated mistakes over and over again for Execration to have a chance. So we'll see if Execration could force a couple of mistakes with, let's say, a
Dire's top
you know, key
tower
smoke
is
gank
under
into a tier
attack.
2 push or something like that.
It feels like right now the anti-mage is the be-all end-all. If they can find him, set up fully, and get the kill, like that one gank, if that happened and they took down the Aegis, I think that changes the entire complexion of the game.
Right, and then that means the next one kills the anti-mage, and perhaps you could get a tier 2 out of that.
Right.
So now, Tinker is one of the stronger late-game scaling heroes. He can go into a array of items that could, you know, either kill or, you know, like the Hex you suggested, disable. But he is also struggling himself. I love the item choice picked up here by the Faceless Void, the Shadow Blade. That also turns him into a solo killing machine, or at least sets up for the rest of his team. So
Regeneration.
if you look at it from a Tinker's perspective, this game is really hard to play him, the hero, because Yules into a Requiem, you're dead. Chronosphere, you're dead. Night Stalker flying over the trees finding you, you're dead. So, or Anti-Mage even finding you, you're dead. So like, we keep saying that James needs to like play exceptionally, but it's so hard for him to do so. And I think Execration is starting to run out of time.
If they win this game right now, it's going to be off the back of James' amazing plays. The other thing that we do have to keep in mind is that Arc is also going to be going back now for an Aghanim Scepter. So a lot of those disabling spells that we've been talking about no longer going to be functional. And Mineski getting set to go in towards mid. If they take this fight badly, maybe that's an opportunity for Execration to get back into it. And looking for the opening now, Shadow-Bladed Mag. He's going to run to Raging Potato. The Oracle is there as well to keep him alive, but the backline is coming in. He jumps forward, only catches the Kunkka. I think that he's still going to be okay through that. The vacuum wall, he pulled him into a couple more, and now that laser is going to start to bounce out. The Omni Slash not doing quite enough, and Leemic is dead as well. Multi-kill, double kill for Mushi, triple as well. Can he take him down the rest of the way? Nando trying to get out of there. They are going to kill off the AM, but it's only the Aegis. So they take
could X
down
him
3.
again. All right, a little bit slow.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
So that was like arguably one of the worst Chronosphere that you can have, because the Chronosphere led into the rest team being vacuumed back into the Chronosphere. Great play by the Darkseer. But still, Mineski is so far ahead, and Mushi showing up with his Aghanim Scepter newly purchased, that even though the Chrono was bad, it didn't matter at all. Nando might actually just be dead here. Maledict taking.
It's a lot of damage. He's going to get back in time. I think he's fine. And the problem is that the rest of their barracks is dropping so quickly. And I mean, I guess he got the disarm there, the vacuum onto 2 with
that's
the torrent.
nice.
It's a
Yeah.
decent
Dire's
start,
middle
but
barracks
it
has
is
fallen.
Elena Barracks, and that
Dire's
hurts.
top tower is under attack.
Now there's an Ags on Arc, so he becomes super hard to gank.
Oh, all right. They got sight of Reor. There's going to be a torrent to follow, and not quite there. Oh, Raging Potato.
Dire's top tower has
Oh,
fallen.
that hurts. That hurts a lot.
There's a lot of mom spaghetti on the floor right now. Everyone's missing their combos. X-Torrent should never be missed unless you're, you know, being
He
stunned
might,
or whatever.
you know what? It might have been that the torrent was on cooldown. From
Okay, that's
earlier.
fair,
I
that's
think
fair.
that's what it was.
Yeah. All right, so sorry about the flames. Maybe
That's
not
okay.
mom spaghetti.
So I think that you've got with Ags a little bit more HP on the anti-mage. He's at 2100 right now. but not invincible, and being down a lane of barracks as a Tinker is not the end of the world either. So it's really tough, but if they can catch and kill the anti-mage a couple of times, that's where maybe your game starts to come back together. And they haven't shut down all the map control either. Like if they pick up a gem on Radiant, which they do have on Night Stalker now, like this is the period where they have to punish.
How do they kill the anti-mage?
Right.
He has Ags, right? Like Tinker's working towards Hex, so you need, I guess, to break the Ags and then Hex him, and then I guess Omni Slash on top of that. But that's a lot of things that needs to go properly for them. I guess you hope Mag Chronos his team, that there's also that, because he came close to doing that last time, right? He Chrono only one person and Darkseer vacuumed them in, so there's also R making a huge play.
I think that this right here is the time when they have to do something, because as soon as the rest of these wards go down, they're completely dark around the map. And if they don't make use of the vision that they have, either smoking towards a ward or whatever else, waiting for them to get dewarded, it's just going to make the game that much harder.
Yeah. It's hard to say what is the right play here for Execration. They are just so far behind. They need to start to take like very big risks, like you said, like just go out there, make something happen. Because waiting, I don't think is the appropriate move.
Well, Potato has himself a Glimmer Cape, an Aether Lens, Boogie being very difficult to deal with, and it almost doesn't matter now that you've got for this more spell casting oriented build from Mushi, because everything else is working. It's just the AM show.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at the Shadow Fiend, it looks like a really rare build, but imagine in certain different lenses that he's like a Lina or a Queen of Pain or even a Puck that's just walking around, kind of playing a tempo controller. Except a tempo controller that could just blow up anybody.
Time is money.
So if you kind of think about it from that perspective, it's very fine. Like when the hero was first selected, I was like, oh my god, that's really greedy. And then we thought, you know, kind of looked at how the game progressed. I talked about the mech build, which again, it's a little past its time, but this is a similar style, right? Where you don't play the right clicker, where you don't suck up all the resource on the map. Instead, you walk around, control the tempo, control where the enemy can be, and get kills.
Dire's bottom tower
I say that he's
is
still the
under
top
attack.
net worth, so maybe he is sucking a bit of net worth out of the map, but
That's farming heroes, though.
yeah.
All right.
He's 10-0-5.
Yeah. In spite of the missed raises, in spite of everything else, it's been a pretty good game for him overall. This is the point where they want to try and go for a big play. It is daytime for another 2 minutes, or at least until that ulti is off cooldown. So 60 seconds to make something happen. Execration have to do it now, or it only
Dire's
becomes
bottom
harder.
tower is
But at the
under
same time,
attack.
this is very obvious. There's a Marcher Machine later on their
Mushi,
Ancients.
he's on the cliff.
Okay. He's fine. He's got Yule Scepter to defend himself. Although now the Diffusal Blade is up too, so they can purge off the Yules and Omni Slash right on top of that. But that was the Smoke Gambit. It did not work, and now it's Mineski's turn.
I don't know if they necessarily want to walk into this, though. It's still not entirely safe, and it does look like Mag is going to be scouted going into there, I believe, since there was a ward in the area as well as a sentry. So
I
they
think this
know
is
the
a-
Rosh is going on.
This is an unnecessary risk. They could just wait for nighttime. There's no pressure for them to do the Roshan right now.
What? This seems so peculiar, and if they end up losing this fight right here, this could potentially be a huge setback for them. And another torrent, they drop it in, back wall. It's not quite on the mark, the full combo. That was a much-needed hit from Execration that turned into a miss.
It feels like Execration with a combo, they just needed like one more stun, you know? Like, the Vacuum was good, the Torrent was good, they just need one more stun to chain it into the bowl. Oh, Yule Scepter finds him, and here comes the Requiem. Get out of there, Raging Potato. Here comes a False Promise, but is that the one that you want to False Promise? The Oracle goes down on the back line, Kunga sure to go down as well. They get the Aegis on the front, Arc finds Nando. Nando is going to try to spin himself out of there, but there is no way to go except to death.
Yeah, that really hurts. He even got first hit bash when he was heading in, and well, it was all an elaborate bait, as Leemic a little bit upset about the situation, I'm sure. They are going to end up probably losing more here. 50 seconds, no jug. I mean, you do a hell of a lot of damage with the Tinker, but I don't think it's going to be enough to stop Mineski from assaulting their high ground. They didn't even use Chrono there. I think that James is just dead now. They jump forward. Oh, okay. All right.
Dire's bottom tower
Well done,
has
James.
fallen.
Get some players.
I don't think it matters. Yeah, there's the Yule Scepter lift up, and James now under duress. He accepts his fate. Vacuum wall. Nothing. GG gets called, and it felt to me like an outdraft more than anything else. This was
Dire's bottom barracks has fallen.
honestly, Execration played better.
Victory!
I do think that they did. There were so many misplays on Mineski's lineup, but they just got outdrafted. Would you agree with that?
I wouldn't say they play better.